All right. So let's get the nighttime bonfire music going.
Don't forget to move the players over to the thing too, if that's if you're meaning to do that yet.
The players over to the what?
You have to move the red banner over to the map that the players are on so that the players can see
Oh,
stuff.
Roger that. Thank you, Tack.
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
All right, you
That's
guys
what
are
I'm here
now.
for.
Whoever is in the campaign right now, you guys are all gathered around a fire on the side of a road. I'll go ahead and read the prelude to the campaign, and then you guys can pick it
That's
up from
cool.
there. All right. So, this is Mount Pox campaign, 5th edition. So if you're just tuning in, we are beginning now. In the Forgotten Lands, the continent where you guys are currently located, a world broken by devastating event a long time ago, unknown to all who currently reside on this abandoned continent. There's an exceptional few who go by the title of Dawnclaws. This ragtag assortment of individuals have survived by sticking together and watching each other's backs for about a decade. They are bonded by a decade worth of hardened combat and a loss of fellow companions like Stein Rogmore, Rita Kloss, and the most difficult loss of all, their posthumous leader, Dash Legest, the bravest known bard ever to grace this world. As the party find themselves on this down and out financially and physically, or find themselves down and out financially and physically, a position that they are all too familiar with. They've accepted a mission from the message board at Echo City, requesting for assistance and hired muscle in Ailedale. Skilled fighters needed, is all the message board reads. This is all they had to go on. But the reward is hard to turn down. The reward reads as so: 750 gold pieces and a possible residence within the town of Ailedale itself. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the intrepid adventurers camped alongside the road. After 2 days of hard travel on their way to Ailedale, the Dawnclaws are present. The Dawnclaws are now in control of their destiny. So we will start with Tack, since you're first from left to right. Go ahead and introduce yourself, your character, and any bio that you have.
Also, is that beautiful image above the campaign theme.
Yeah, I'm still on the world map.
I am as well.
Okay, cool.
Same.
I'm making sure I wasn't behind or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
Okay,
got you.
yeah.
I got you guys. Bam.
I'm gonna go into the map. Oh, sweet beds.
Beds.
So many.
I'm just gonna go back to sleep.
All right,
All right, for the most part,
Oh
let's
shit!
start.
You went under your bed. Nice.
what's up, bro?
For the most part, let's go ahead and start with Tack. You go ahead and give your introduction as your character, who you are.
All right, my name's Tack of the Washbarrow clan, and I'm a Tabaxi rogue whose collar pattern kind of looks like a raccoon. And that's basically it. I haven't come up with much of a backstory for him other than he's roguish.
All right. And how long have you been with this group? For about a decade? The same, like you guys?
Probably,
Okay.
yeah.
All
All my
right.
friends.
All your friends. All right, Bardag, are you there?
Yeah. Am I coming through all right?
Yep, you're good, John.
All right. I I was the member of clan, and after my clan was ambushed and killed, I turned to the the guard at. Hold on,
Echo City.
bear with me.
You're good.
Yeah, Echo, that's right. All right, so I turned to the guard at Echo City for survival, and I stayed with them for 9 years until there was a change and it became corrupt. So I left, and I've been with the group for about 9.5 years now. And I'm a human barbarian, by the way.
All right. Sounds good. All right, let's move on to Duncan, Idaho. Is next in line around the campfire.
My character is Duncan Ido. He is a mercenary fighter, human. He specializes with a glaive, and he first met this party near the start of it when he found 5 gold worth of like jewels just sitting on the ground after they'd walked by, and he figured he'd stick with them in case they lost anything else.
Who's doing the humming? Okay. It stopped. Either way.
And that's all I have about my character so far.
All right. That is Duncan Idaho. Reference from Dust. Or Dune, sorry. Dust. My bad.
Same thing.
Drainer Steel Plate. Are you there, bud? Jake?
Yep.
All right. Let's go ahead and introduce Drainer. You can introduce
Draenor
your relative, too, if you want, since she's not going to be here tonight.
Draenor steel plate, a very fine specimen of a dragonborn. I was born from a clutch that I do not know. My compatriot and brother, Nessus Steelplate, is a dragonborn just the same, but he is a chromatic dragonborn, while I am a metallic dragonborn. We come to choose each other as brothers due to the fact that we were both egg-napped at a small age. When we were egg-napped at a small age, we found our way into... We somehow mysteriously ended up in front of a church. We were taken in, and we were taught the ways of the gospel and the lords and the gods. So we chose the life of paladins.
And what path did you choose as a paladin?
I am a lawful good paladin.
And
I cannot speak for Nessus. I
following
choose not to speak for Nessus.
following the path of the light as a lawful good paladin, worshipping to Azrael. Azrael.
Ice breath. Fuck yeah.
All right. Looks like we got Sabanthal Ibfist. You might have to pronounce that better.
Santhio Ibfist.
Santhiel Ibfist.
I've got a lore on top of a bio, which contributes to his character, if that's cool.
Go ahead. If you want to read it, you can.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read it. Santhio was born into an impoverished blacksmith family. His father, Targoth, and seamstress mother, Vicerin. Santhio attempted to follow into his father's footsteps and began an apprenticeship in the blacksmith's trade. At the age of 7, Santhio discovered that he had a keen sense of perception and could almost predict movements and things of the future. Rather than smithing, Santhio began wielding a wooden sword, practicing strikes and blocks against a 100-year-old oak tree just below his family's lowly farm among the banks of the Udiasan River. He doesn't know where he bores from, country-wise. He has bits and pieces of his memory and his lore on a scroll, which is his Santhio's scroll, which is a special item. At the age of 17, the 5th Regiment, led by Lord Raylar, arrived at Santhio's farm. They put Targoth, his father, to work mending armor and sharpening their blades. Vicerin found herself mending tunics and cooking for Raylar's men. Raylar, on the 12th day of encampment, saw Santhio wielding his blade by the shore and observed the hard strike marks all over the tree, and saw that Santhio was only wielding a wooden blade, which he had toughened by fire. Raylar asked Santhio if he had ever fought a real opponent each time. Raylar asked Santhio if he would be able to put his might to the test and fight his bravest, most decorated warrior, Victimin. Santhio stated that if he won, Raylar would let Santhio join his ranks and fight alongside the 5th Regiment. Raylar agreed and ordered Santhio to gear up, which at that time Santhio replied, "I'm already ready." So part of his lore with this fight, it's just a small fight, but he wielded a wooden blade, which when the fight started, his two-handed blade and high into the air, Victimin struck a devastating blow, or what he thought was, because of the sheer force and pain he felt in both of his forearms.
Oh,
It only took moments for him to realize that his blow had actually missed Santhio because he had sidestepped away. The pain he felt was the wooden blade Santhio had used and struck from an odd angle across his forearms. Victimin relinquished his grip on his blade and knelt as Santhio held his fire-hardened wood, that's a little joke there, against the warm flesh of Victimin's neck. At that moment, Raylar knew he had stopped at the right blacksmith's home and knew great things were in store for young Santhio. Then here's where his lore plays into how he became a knight and paladin, since he was not of royal blood. Over the next 4 years, Santhio traveled with the 5th Regiment, and each fight moved closer to Raylar's side. At the Battle of Braidlord's Keep, Santhio was given the opportunity to lead his own group of men, the 2nd Battalion of the 5th Regiment of the Seven Kingdoms. This was his opportunity to prove to Raylar he was worthy of his praise. He looked at Raylar as a father figure, but little did Samuel know that Raylar sent his battalion in with little to no hope. They were outnumbered 5-1, and the enemy was barricaded behind the walls with food and water last months. If anybody's familiar with any type of history, when subjects are barricaded into a keep, you could have one guy and he could take down hundreds just because the sheer fortitude of the places that they last in. Once Santhiel and his men reached the outer tents of the siege camp, Santhiel was alerted to the fact that Prince Farathin of the Seventh Kingdom was pinned in the sally port of the keep and that his men were being felled left and right. Santhiel gathered his troops and stormed the keep. Santhiel and his 120 men hugged the walls of the keep tight to make sure they could avoid the archers and anything that was thrown from the walls. They entered the sally port and saw Farathin on his knees, his shield broken as well as his will. Yeah, they didn't have wheels. Santhiel engaged the Mongols and pressed inwards and fought with sheer force and faith. Santhiel made it to his prince and attempted to aid him and pull him from the battle. And as Santhiel attempted to get the prince to a horse, the warlord Mongol Shidam approached. He swung his mighty warhammer high and hard with a whirlwind effect. The attack caused the dirt and the mud from the walls to cloud the air. A loud crack was heard and the battlefield fell silent. After what seemed like an eternity, the cloud cleared. Shidam's hammer was broken, the hilt splintered, and the head broke in two. Santhiel was knelt over a body, that of his prince, who was actually still alive. The armor Santhiel was wearing was glowing with a white sheen and almost an ethereal look. There was a split across the back of the shoulders with a small amount of blood trickling from the cracks. Santhiel turned and it was apparent he had threw himself over the prince and took the brunt of the blow. Santhiel thrust his sword high and true, piercing through the chin of Shidam, exiting through the top of his head with such force that Shidam's head was removed from the body. Santhiel stood tall, raised his sword above his head, with a lifeless and bloody head sliding down the blade to the hilt. Seeing this, Santhiel's men rallied. They fought tooth and nail, and in the end prevailed, only costing the battalion 28 men. The fight, known as the Fall of Bredlor's Keep, was etched into history and noticed by more than just Raylar and the prince. 3 months after the battle, Santhiel rode to the capital city of Aldrich to be seen before the prince's father, King Eichfrith. The king, knowing that Santhiel was descended of unnoble blood, decided to honor Santhiel, saving his son, would grant Santhiel knighthood and the land that his family lived on. Santhiel was handed a scroll, which is now known as Santhiel's scroll, for his dedication and sacrifice to lay down his life for that of his men and his kingdom. Over the next few months, they were spent on a ship and were tiresome. The Seventh Kingdom had conquered its enemies on its own borders and were looking for places to outreach. Santhiel was on the ship Phrydion, and it was sent to sail east to find new lands to conquer. The ship had been at sea for nearly 6 months where the dreaded storm became. It thrust waves taller than mountains and lightning, brighter than the sun. Ultimately, the storm proved too much for the Phrydion and its crew. Alas, we end the story of the warrior Santhiel here, or do we? For his people, Santhiel was lost to sea, but little did they know Santhiel wasn't dead. He had watched the shore of a land unbeknownst to most, almost forgotten, and all he had was his sword, his scroll, and the chainmail he wore. This was 10 years ago to this day, and now it looks like Santhiel may get to pick up arms and fight again, not for his country or his family this time, but new friends he had gained during the long struggle of staying alive on this unforgiving, desolate place known as the Forgotten Lands.
That's what we're talking about. That was perfect. Good job, Santhiel. All right. It's going to be hard to follow, Rivdale, since you just came in, but your introduction is now next.
All right. Well, Rivdal is a descendant from a ancient elven family from Faerun that lives in the forest of one of the old grandfather trees. Long time ago, a group of Dragonborn invaded her village. Her parents were killed. So she fled with the help of one of the old elven mages and grew up under her tutelage. And that's where she got her ideals and heard stories of past elven mysteries and such. And she aspires to be like that of her hero, Dristo Durin, seeking to one day reach the acclaim and prowess that he has earned throughout the time that he's spent on the surface and beneath the surface as well. She seeks out nothing but the happiness of others around her. She's slow to trust, but once her trust is earned, There's nothing that she will not do for someone that she loves.
All right. Well, now that you've all gathered here and you've given your introductions around this fire, you guys are camped out along the road on your way to Ailedale. You guys, just to be aware, this I forgot to tell you guys all. I mean, I've told most of the players this before, but if anybody's just tuned into the campaign, this is going to be a homebrew campaign based upon 5th edition rules. But that being said, there is going to be some changes, some minor changes that I've implemented that won't be apparent to the players or even maybe the people watching. I'm going to change the rules up a little bit here and there. To do with magic and just a lot to do with how you guys interact with the world around you. This world that you guys are in is very gritty, very real, very in your face, confronting. It's not your average happy-go-lucky place. As I can show the stream, the map here for the giant map of the campaign map is not all green and plush like it shows here. It is a broken world, a riddled landscape of like desolate, burnt, dead trees, and sometimes you might find a dead body or two littered across the road, or you might see some horrific acts being committed in the city. Everything from robbery, murder, to rape, to street urchin children murdering people. So
my character is gonna have a fucking field day.
so that being said, I just wanted to give you guys a little context about about what you're getting yourself into. You guys are together and have been together for about a decade due to the fact that anyone on their own would have been dead by now. So that being said, we can go right into it. You guys are all camping around the fire. It's about probably 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock at night. You guys have been traveling for straight 2 days without stopping to rest. This is your first time resting, so a lot of you are already somewhat exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And rest is looking pretty good to most of you right about now. That being said, you guys can take it from there. If you need me to give you an order or a turn order, I can just go in order and ask you guys what you want to do. Which probably I'll just start by doing that. Thanks for the follow, Random King. Hope you enjoyed the stream. This is our first time.
He's a friend of Kiz.
Oh, nice. Friend of Kiz. Kiz has helped us a lot, so thank you, Random.
Yeah.
All right.
If I go quiet here for a little bit, I'm gonna order myself some Smitties.
Okay.
So-
Definitely no Smitties in this world. So.
Damn it! Damn it! I guess I gotta order Doughboys in Reno.
Oh God.
But
That
yeah,
was terrible.
you guys
Oh my
obviously can
goodness.
tell that you have control of your characters. So let's just go through and we'll just do it like we did the introductions and start with Tack. Is there anything you want to do specifically as of right now?
Not right now. I'm just kind of hanging out,
By the
chilling,
fire?
sitting on my bedroll.
Okay. Or underneath of it, yeah.
No, on it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, shit, dog.
10-foot
long bedroll.
As you guys can see in the stream, I will give you a view of what the characters are able to see occasionally, because I have dynamic lighting turned on, so you'll be able to see occasionally that they are blocked by trees, and certain players can see farther than others, being as they have low light or dark vision. So that being said, Bardag, is there anything you want to do while you're sitting around the fire?
I'm So about what time is it?
9:30, 10 o'clock at night. You guys just got off 2 days worth of straight
Alright,
traveling.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay down in my bedroom and go to sleep.
Okay, fair enough. Put you in the bedroll as well with the rest of them. All right, Duncan, Idaho.
My guy's going to move his bedroll up to the tree and just sit up against the tree, but on top of his bedroll. So like
Okay.
using the bedroll so as a pillow propped against the tree.
Fair enough.
Bro,
He's
you
just
can
going to
move those.
sharpen his. He's going to sharpen
Yeah,
his
you can
blade
move
with
those
the
to the map
stone.
layer.
You're gonna lay on your bedroll and sharpen. You said?
Sharpen the glaive with this piece of sandstone.
Okay. Sure enough. So
Something
as you
with
guys
the
see Duncan,
knives.
Idaho crawl up over there. Some of the other people have already crawled up in their sleeping sacks for the night due to the long haul. And you see Duncan, Idaho leaning up against a tree as he begins to take his sandstone and sharpen his glaive. Draenor, at this point, is eating. What he constitutes is he's told you guys up to this point he constitutes it as he calls it pizza, but you guys are all unfamiliar with what that is.
Never heard of it.
Exactly.
Looks
So
gross.
Santhiel, what do you want to do anything?
Is Draenor not here?
Draenor, he is eating right now in his sleeping bag, kind of just getting ready to pass out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Santhiel's finished up praying to Aziriel, which I also sent you in Discord the
Okay.
icon for that. But he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna scout out a little bit, just patrol, make sure everybody's safe while they sleep for a couple hours. He'll take first watch.
Sounds good.
Stay within shouting distance.
Rivdal.
Rivdal is also going to go on patrol. She's probably going to move up north towards the path and do a hide.
All right. You want to hide up towards the path and just kind of sit up there and keep watch?
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and move your character up there, where you want to set him at, that is perfectly fine.
And her.
Her, sorry.
No problem.
URIEO.
That'll work for me. Should I make a stealth check?
Let me get this put up here real quick. All right. I've been putting another handout for Azuriel's symbol. Yes, if you would like to go ahead and make your stealth check, you can roll right off your character sheet. If you go into your character sheet, into journal, instead of having to deal with all the numbers and everything, you can just go straight to
I got it in chat.
All right, cool. I'm going to have to turn my Bing back on. All right, you should roll a 22?
Yep.
On,
I think it's stealth, wasn't it?
on stealth, yeah. So you definitely, you've done this before. You've, as a well-trained ranger and 10 years of hard training, you know that, like, not everyone can sleep in the camp. Someone has to keep watch. So you've moved up towards where you know there was a bridge in the path that you guys stopped before you got there. When you get up there, though, go ahead and roll a perception check as you get up there and you stealth behind a tree and you kind of just sit down underneath this tree.
All right. All right. 14.
All right, you sit down by this tree, and as you sit down, you kind of you get this weird sense that maybe you should possibly start looking around some more. Like maybe you guys aren't alone. Like something's watching you from the woods. You can't really make it out. But right about that time is when you get the faint smell of like something cooking on a fire. And as far as you know, everyone else at your camp is pretty much retired for the night, and no one's really cooking anything. So that kind of confused you a little bit. But other than that, you really can't really you don't really notice anything. But you are in a familiar terrain. So that being said, like
Okay.
maybe here when it comes up to your turn again, maybe just
And I am
do
still
some
hidden.
more investigate. Yeah, you absolutely you definitely feel like you've hidden
Okay.
very well in this tree that you're sitting in right now.
Fantastic.
That being said, let's go back to the top of the order. Attack. Are you still? You went to bed, straight to bed.
No, I was just sitting on my bed,
All right, just sitting in your bed.
hanging out, kind of watching things, seeing
Okay.
how things are.
Everything seems to be pretty much. Is there anything you want to do? Everything seems to be pretty much normal. You hear the sharpening of Duncan Idaho sitting behind you, sharpening his blade.
Being kind of a antisocial person.
It's not super loud, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
yeah. He's moved up next to the tree, but you guys are family. You guys have been together. You know how Duncan usually is. This is how he
Yeah,
behaves.
he's like that. He'll be like that sometimes.
Exactly. Is there anything else you want to do while you're just kind of hanging out the sleep sack, or you don't have to? By all means, I'm just giving everybody a
I'm
chance.
just trying to think. I kind of want to climb a tree to just kind of stay hidden. I'll put
Okay.
shit in my sleeping bag so it looks like I'm sleeping in there, but I'm actually sleeping in a tree.
And you're trying to. Did we lose somebody? I think we lost John.
Oh god, what happened to him?
What?
Oh no, we didn't lose
He's
John.
still here.
Oh,
I think we lost someone. That's all right. Anyways, that's fine. If you want to go ahead and move your character over to one of the trees that you want to climb, probably within your movement range, we'll go ahead and say. You're not in combat, but we're going to kind of stay within like a somewhat of a turn order. Bardag, is there anything you want to do, or did you go straight to bed?
I'm gonna climb Duncan Idaho's tree.
All right, fair enough.
You sit next to the tree
I
with me.
went straight to bed.
Okay, fair enough.
What's
All
up,
right.
Duncan?
Might want to move up your bedroll so you're not sitting on the dirt.
Oh no, I'm leaving my bedroll there. I'm up in the tree above you,
Ah, okay.
keeping an eye out for things and stuff.
I thought you were just
Go ahead and Tack. Go ahead and roll a an athletics check, or well, let's do acrobatics, obviously, to get up in that
All
tree.
right, I'm back.
All right, Draenor's back too.
What?
Jano, stop falling asleep. Come on.
I got narcolepsy.
That's no excuse to fall asleep at random.
Go ahead and roll the acrobatics Tack to get up that tree.
Tabaxis have a natural thing where they can just climb 30 feet up.
Fair enough.
with their dumb cat claws.
You were like looking at this tree. You were like, "Oh, can I? I don't know if I can." You were judging it. Am I going to be able to get up in this? And you're like, and you kind of laughed to yourself, like, "I'm a tabaxi. This is no problem." And you jump right up in the tree. As you get up there,
Oh, I can't see anything other than a just blackness.
oh, okay, yeah, I got to set up your. Yeah, I'd let you blind. Our tabaxis have dark vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not blind. You put me inside the tree, and the tree's the solid block.
Ah, I got you. I got
So I
you.
can't see outside of it. Just leave me outside of the tree,
Got you.
or outside of that block.
Can I climb a tree?
You're not allowed to climb in trees. Trees belong to me.
But I have large, sharp claws, and I am strong enough to do so.
I'm a tabaxi. I speak for the trees.
As you get up to the top of the tree, you immediately become aware that just the same as Rivdal noticed a little bit, that you tend to feel like that there's a lot going on out here, but you really can't. Go ahead and roll a perception with disadvantage,
Perception.
because you're really not looking for anything, but you do start to get the sense that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And as you're kind of climbing the tree, you're kind of situating yourself at the top of it.
Oh, that's persuasion I was mousing over. I was like, I don't have that good a perception.
Yeah, I mean, you can try to persuade the tree, but I don't know if that'll work.
Tree, tell me your secrets. 16.
16. Yeah, you what sounds like almost with your party sleeping the way they are in the top of the tree, what almost sounds like you can make out a faint, what sounds like maybe possibly even voices off in the distance across the river, but it's hard to hear with the
They're
river.
back.
With the river making as much noise as it is and stuff, it's kind of really hard to make out what's being said, or even if it's even is voices, and maybe it's just a river playing tricks on your ears.
Which is louder, the river or all my friends snoring?
Your friends are pretty loud, snoring and stuff like that. But they're faintly in the background. You do hear the sounds of like, maybe possibly.
Do I get a sense of the direction?
You know it's over by the river, but that's about as much as you can make
Okay,
out.
so around the river, maybe past
Yeah,
the river.
and the river itself is making quite a bit of is being quite loud.
Kind
Duncan,
of obnoxious.
are you still sharpening your blade as this tabaxi climbs a tree above you? You notice this, and you're like, oh man, Tack, not again.
No, it's okay. Don't mind me. Also, stop talking to me. I'm trying to be
Do
sneaky.
you want to do anything, Duncan? Or are you just gonna stay there and sharpen your blade?
I'm just going to look around from where I'm sitting, just look at the campfire, sharpening, see if anyone's doing anything.
All right. You notice Tack scale up the tree.
He jumped over me and climbed up a tree. I noticed
Absolutely.
that.
You're used to that type of behavior at this point.
He's pretty
Draenor,
weird.
you are currently eating you've told the rest of the party to be pizza, but none of them are familiar with it. Schmitty's pizza in particular, and you're just kind of
Medium
sitting there on your
From
sleeping
the
bag.
land of Schmitty's.
DM.
Yes.
I'm restarting the PC real quick.
That's
She
fine.
Pushed a button and everything's a million times bigger than it should be.
No worries. Is there anything you want to do, Draenor, while you're sitting there chowing down on your sleeping bag, getting ready to get some shut eye?
Oh no, I guess I'm gonna make it a thing. I never go to sleep without sensing evil.
Okay, I like that. So I believe your divine sense is 60 feet.
Okay.
Uh,
Sense
I'm
of evil.
so. How do you want to do that? So go ahead and role play how
Uh,
you do your divine sense, if you'd like to.
I lay back in my bed, and then I lean up and cross my hands over each other, and like fold my hands in prayer, kinda, and then I just sense, I guess.
Okay. So as all right, as Draenor lays back in his bed, he kind of just before he goes to sleep, he says a little prayer to Azrael, and holds on to his symbol, and as he slowly starts to drift off, he doesn't seem to notice anything around him directly, and then you get this faint, subtle feeling that to the north of you, possibly to the north, even the north.
Santa's
East.
back.
Oh, okay, awesome. To the northeast of you, you get this faint presence of possibly, maybe not necessarily evil, but something that could be harmful or potentially harmful. And I know that's not exactly how divine sense works, but like I said, this is a homebrew campaign, so depending on how people.
Can't sleep. Monsters nearby.
Not necessarily. You just feel like there could be something out in the woods, but it's pretty far away from you. It's a little. It almost feels like it's close to 60 feet, or if not farther away, to the north of you.
60
Across,
feet, if not
you can
farther
definitely
away.
sense it's across the river, and the river is making it a little bit harder for you to sense it as well. You're divine, but it definitely.
Okay.
It definitely feels like it could necessarily be harmful to you, but you really can't get a proper sense of what is out there.
All right. Can I alert the rest of the team?
Absolutely, with your bonus action, yeah, for sure.
All right. Alerting
Oh,
the
don't
rest
wake
of the
people
team.
up.
Hey guys, something out there is not very safe.
And as you guys all are just kind of
Good
doing your thing,
call.
as you guys are all just doing your thing, you hear this voice shout out from Draenor, your resident Dragonborn and Paladin, saying, "Hey guys, everything's not safe." And do you say it loudly? Because your party's kind of split up a little bit now. They're a good distance away from you. Some of them, 30 feet, 25 feet. Are you shouting this? Or are you whispering it? Or did you just say it like you just did?
Just run to each character and whisper it in their ears, sensually.
All right, we're gonna go with what you just did. At this point, you've committed. Your feet are strapped to the bike on this one, Draenor. You shout out, at least to the people around you that you can see immediately, which is Santhiel and Bardag, which you look over to the north of you, who's just sleeping away. He's dead. He is out. You've seen this barbarian sleep before, and he's sleeping hard. Santhiel, though, you're sitting right next to the fire, and you're immediately aware of that Draenor says he's sensing something, which you are familiar with because you, as being a paladin to Ezreal, know exactly what he means by that. So if you want to react, you be next, Santhiel.
Yeah, I also stand up and notice something. Is it fair to say I hear some kind of chants coming from the east?
You don't necessarily hear any chants. You don't really hear the voices that Tak became aware of a little bit. All you're aware of at this point now is that Draenor has been alerted to something that may be potentially harmful to the northeast.
So I could possibly sense some kind of dark arts.
You don't necessarily sense dark arts, no. Not specifically dark arts. If you're going to use your divine sense, that's fine. You can.
No, I'll go ahead and, since we're not quite sure of how far away Duncan has went, or not Duncan.
Ribdal.
Yeah, Rivdal. I'll go ahead and I'll start to progress north and attempt to find him.
All right. You can move about 6
let him know
squares.
as well.
Every square is 5 feet, so that's about 6 squares is your movement.
Yeah, we'll just get 6 squares north.
Yep. All right. I can move it for you, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. You get to about to where the tree's at, which is only about 10 feet away from where Rivdal is actually currently like crouched down now and hidden. But you are not aware that Rivdal is on the other side of the tree. You are actually on the opposite side of where Rivdal is now currently hidden. I can give the chat a little bit of view of what Santhiel is seeing from his position. From this, though, Santhiel, if you want to go ahead and roll for a perception now that you've moved up,
Yeah,
go for it.
where's the dice at? I can't find the dang dice.
You can go to your sheet. It's on the left, but that's like your basic dice roll. If you go up to your
Yeah,
journal,
I'm on my sheet.
just click on perception, the word perception where it says it on the sheet, and it'll actually
Gotcha.
roll it for you and add all your modifiers.
Okay.
Perfect. So as you walk up there, you're immediately aware of what looks to be a faint light off in the northeast distance across the river, like on maybe like a hilltop, but it seems to be like it's covered by something. It's not a very big light source, but it looks like there might be another campfire or another light source coming from up in. I'll show you with the ruler up in this general area, around that area. You can see a faint light coming from that direction. That being said, you're still not aware of Rivdal, who is residing literally like 5-10 feet away from you on the other side of the tree. That being said, Rivdal, it's up to you, bud.
All right. So you mentioned
You do
intimidation
actually
at the beginning.
notice Santhiel walk up behind you, kind of clunkily and loudly step up on the other side of the tree. You think he might be just taking a piss or something at this point.
Okay. So for me, it's just covered in shadow, but I do know he's there.
Yes, he came up. He was not stealthy by any means, walking up behind you.
Okay. I am going to real quick. So the special item that you mentioned at the beginning of the campaign.
Yes.
Can I make it a special communication technique? We have been together for what, a decade now, fighting and
Telepathy.
surviving together.
Yes.
Signals.
I'd like to use
A
be able to use
message.
my body language and hand signals and certain gestures in order to convey
like that.
information to my teammates
Okay.
silently.
What I'm going to do for that is, I like that a lot, actually, and I'm actually don't even think I'm going to implement that as your special, necessarily your special item. I think that would be a good group item overall, and what we'll call that is like the, we'll just call that, for now, we'll just call it the Dawn speak,
Dawn
or Dawn lingo, or language, where you guys exclusively can...
Everybody gets one.
Well, this is not even a special. Everyone is aware and has been over the 10 years that you guys have been together. You guys have honed in a ability to know what you guys mean with hand gestures, whether they're like, "Hey, move forward" or "look over there" kind of things. But you also have like
Can we add
very
that to proficiencies in languages.
absolutely just add Don Claw speak for now. Almost just like DAWN or CLAW, and then just speak. Or however you want it, language or whatever you want to classify it as. But only you guys that are in the group are officially aware of what any of those symbols mean. And some of them are very unique to you guys. Like
So
you
it's
have,
like thieves' camp.
yeah, it's like Thieves Camp, but specifically for your guys' group that you're in.
It's kind of like the way Riot teams communicate to each other.
Perfect.
Not at all.
You mean SWAT teams?
SWAT teams, yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Go ahead and roll a survival, or not even a survival, but a history, Ribdal, because you're in your. Are you you're a wood elf, so you're familiar with this type of terrain, I would assume.
Yes.
Go ahead and
my
roll.
favorite terrain is also forest.
Okay, perfect. So I want you to go ahead and roll a history check for where you're at right now.
19.
Okay. As you do that, and were you trying to signal someone, by the way, before I?
Yeah, I was going to kind of walk towards the bridge a little bit.
Okay.
Like,
Go ahead and move
as
him.
to,
You can
like-
move him if you want.
I was gonna move to here.
Yep.
And see if I could message Tack and Santhiel and let them know that I'm going to head across the bridge and to the left to the other tree across the.
Okay. All right. Before this, you got that history check. I'm gonna let you do a couple things here. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Rivdal's gonna be doing a little bit here. Their history check. As far as you know, you're familiar with this area. You guys are familiar with the area on the map called the I guess what you would call it, like the I guess it would be like a golden triangle for like safety. It's still pretty dangerous, but it's between the three main cities that you guys are actually aware of. And you know this area where this bridge is at specifically. You've been here before. Your party has before, as the Might Deeg Valley. It's considered. You've heard a lot of rumors of what could be people getting robbed on this road. And Might Deeg Valley is one of those more hostile areas. So that being said, you being aware of where you guys are at now that you look at the bridge and stuff, and being in the Might Deeg Valley, you guys know that this may be, you personally know this might not be the best area for you guys to have camped out, but you didn't realize it at first until you walk up. So you got about
Okay.
4 movements left for your to walk across the bridge. But if you do go across the bridge, I have to warn you, you will have to roll a stealth check at disadvantage
An
because this
additional
bridge,
stealth check?
additional stealth check at this point because it is a
Okay.
rickety ass bridge. Like it is not
Right.
a.
We
So
should fix them.
if you want to go ahead and send them a signal, I'll have
Yeah.
Santhiel and Tack both roll a perception with advantage,
Okay.
since it's in the language of the Dawn
Right.
Claw or the Dawn
And
Claws.
I'm intending for them to notice it.
Yes, absolutely.
Would it
Right.
go again? Would it be us rolling a perception or us just doing a thing versus a passive perception?
You know, I'll base it off your passive perception. Santhiel, you're definitely going to notice it. You're actually startled almost and instantly by Rivdal jumping up out of the trees in front of you.
Oh, Jesus.
And as he does, he immediately makes eye contact with you as he walks around the tree. He sees you as he comes up towards the bridge, and he gives you the signals that lets you know that he's going to move forward and scout ahead, and you give him the signal back that you see the light, that you're aware of where he's going and that you know what's up. Tack, I am going to have you roll that perception to see if you notice Rivdal, because you're up in a tree and he's trying to give you the signal, but go ahead and roll it with advantage.
All right. There is my stuff.
No.
Oh, I like
With
the
a-
ambient.
Oh, with
With
advantage.
advantage?
Yeah, with advantage. Yeah, you do. You definitely notice. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, I just realized the ambient noise. That's nice.
Yeah, I left it a little low. I didn't want it to be blaring. Yes, you definitely notice this, and you see the signal from Rivdal, where he warns you that like he's going across the bridge, that he sees something up ahead, that like to stay alert.
I give him a thumbs up. I
Which
don't know if he can see
You
it or
can.
not.
It's
I
actually your
do
turn
it just
now.
in
You're next
case.
up in line. So if you want to go ahead and respond to him with a
Alright.
thumbs up and everything.
I do a
So I'm
thumbs
gonna
up.
Make my stealth check.
Yes, if you're going across the bridge, absolutely.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
You can
Okay,
get to
cool.
the edge of the bridge. You can't get to the end of the road though. You can get to right about here, I think.
Well, I have a 35 movement.
Oh,
and
so you can get to just the other side then.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Perfect.
Like to go. Let me make my stealth check, and
Yep.
we'll go from there. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
there you
You
go.
definitely
Yeah.
you stealth across that bridge, no problem. Like you've
Still
it's
the fuck out of the bridge.
it's rickety as fuck, and you notice actually as you start to go across the bridge that it would just be better for you just to slip down into the stream below and just walk underneath the bridge. And that's kind of what you do. So you kind of
Okay.
walk under the bridge, and as you do, you slink out. You come up the other side, and you actually come out over here behind a tree.
Oh, perfect. That's where I wanted to go.
Just based upon how good you are as a ranger and stealthing.
Thank
That being said, Tack, it is your turn. You saw what Rivdale was doing and where he went to. He has now disappeared from your view for the most part, though.
I'm gonna kind of follow his lead and
Alright.
come down from the tree and move
And it's
over
also
to
her
the
lead.
base of this tree.
Her lead, yeah. We got to start
No.
remembering that it's Rivdale as the female.
We're all brothers in here.
Yeah.
Just don't
I
let her
mean-
hear you say that.
All right, Tack.
You know,
As
it's my
you-
climbing thing. I could only go up the tree 20 feet, so going back down it and then
Fair enough.
so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
That works.
I'll use my full like sprint thingy, like what Tabaxis get, where
Yeah.
it doubles my movement for a turn. So I'm gonna just get to around the tree thing
Okay.
and see if I can't see stuff.
If you would like to roll perception for that, absolutely.
Uh,
Chat, if you're wondering what this is, by the way, or whoever's in the chat or watching right now, this is just the line of sight. These are trees blocking his vision, and this is the Tabaxi's vision. If you go out far enough, you'll be able to notice that like it starts to get darker the farther out you get here. But he's got pretty good night vision for the most part. It is nighttime. So, all right, Tack, you rolled a perception of 7.
yeah.
As you jumped
I'm
out of the
seeing
tree
all the things.
and ran up there, it was hard for you to make out, and you were kind of like a little bit. This tree is really littered with branches and stuff like that, and it's hard for you to make out anything through the tree branches and stuff like that. You try to see across the river where Rivdale is, and you try to look across where that he told you he was headed, but you really can't make out anything, honestly. You feel like maybe you still hear that faint sound of voices in the background, but you really, it's not very
Does
clear.
it sound like the voices are trying to be quiet, or are they
No.
just talk? Like,
They're just talking.
Okay. So they don't seem to either care that we're here, or they don't know we're here.
Exactly. I mean, you don't really see anything. You're pretty much, other than that, you're pretty much unaware.
They're blind.
Yeah.
See how big ass fire.
And that's going to be Bardag, who is currently asleep. Have you? But you can be alerted. Go ahead and roll for a perception to note or see if you notice. Actually, let me just check Bardag's passive. Is what I'll do to see if he noticed the scream from or the yell from Draenor. Based upon how close you guys are and Draenor's shout, he didn't really try to whisper or anything. You and Santhiel were the closest. So Bardag, if you would like to wake up, you can wake up and
Roll
address
for wake up.
and address Draenor. You don't really know what he said, but you can look at him. You know the shout came from him. So that being said, go ahead, Bardag.
What? What were you shouting about?
There's something out there. It's not safe. I can feel it.
It's probably just paranoid.
It's not safe.
Like,
Come again, Bardag.
what's not?
He asked you what's not safe, Draenor.
The
What's
woods.
not safe
The
about it?
woods. I don't feel safe here. There's something out there. I choose not to sleep.
Well, I think you're batshit crazy. I'm going back to sleep.
Can I roll for persuasion?
Only if Bardag allows it.
Nope. I'm
Alright.
going to sleep.
He does not allow you to persuade him. You guys have been together too long. He has learned to shoot down your charming ways, Draenor. And he just rolls back over as this big lovering barbarian, just curls up, pulls his sleeping bag over his shoulder, and like immediately goes back to snoring, almost
that's
instantaneously.
doable.
Duncan, Idaho, your go, bud.
Yep. Well, do I hear any of the commotion going on from them yelling at each other or trying to convince each other?
You do hear, you absolutely do hear Draenor yell that he's not, and then you hear Draenor and Bardag like arguing about like Draenor doesn't want to go to sleep, but you're not really sure what's going on. You think
And then snoring again.
you think Draenor just kind of had a bad night, or you think maybe Bardag had a bad nightmare and Draenor was just kind of teasing him, but you're not really sure what's going on. You do make out that Draenor doesn't feel safe anymore, though.
Okay, I'm gonna just stand up, get a little bit closer, like 10 feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask, "What's up? What's going on? What's wrong? Why are you guys arguing at this time of night?"
There's something out there, and no one is listening.
Bardag
There's
is
always
asleep.
something out there.
There is something close.
Where close? Do you hear it or see it?
I sense it.
You guys might have to yell over Bardag's snoring.
Yeah.
Well then, one of us better stay awake. I go back to my tree and sit down again.
Fantastic.
Relevant.
All right. It's going to be Draenor now. You can do what you want to do.
I don't fucking know. Roar into the wilderness.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna roar into the wilderness.
Okay. Go
Sure
ahead.
as woods.
Please
Let's give it
show
a
us
roll.
how you roll into the wilderness. What are you rolling for? Are you just going to roll a straight
Yeah,
d20?
16.
What
Yeah,
are you roaring? Are you just roaring?
I'm just roaring to
Alright.
make anything out there aware that something big is at this campsite.
So you're
Even though
you're
I'm
trying to
not
alert the
terribly
rest of your
massive.
party, or you're just roaring like a
No,
lore
just-
roar?
I'm just something to keep anything away.
Are you
Okay.
trying to do an intimidation to him?
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's-
go ahead and roll
let's
for
say
intimidation. Yeah.
All right then.
Actually, I'll just take that 16,
Okay.
Draenor, and I will add your modifiers. So intimidation going to be +3. So as you roar out this tall ass frost dragonborn, you shout and roar into the wilderness in the direction that you fear the presence coming from, and as you do, the tree directly in front of you, unintendingly, you didn't mean to, but you actually start to freeze the tree around, like in front of you a little bit. As you roar, frost starts to come out of your mouth, and slowly icicles form on the tree in front of you, and you guys,
Jurassic Park roar.
everyone hears this in the party. Even Rivdale, you hear this distant roar of just, and you're immediately aware of what roar it is. You know Draenor's roar by now, and you hear it.
And Dragonborn.
You can intimidate it if you like Draenor. What it sounds like.
Nah.
Nah.
I mean,
That's what he does.
I mean, I'll.
He goes, nah! And you just, and you guys just, and Bardag doesn't wake up at all. No fucks given by
He
Bardag.
goes deeper into sleep.
I could just yell, "Get fucked again."
Nah! That's what it sounds like. You guys are aware of this. This is actually, even as crazy as it sounds, you guys are aware of this. This is actually a form of communication that Draenor uses a lot. Part of your Dragon Crawl language. Or Dawn Call language. All right, that being said, Rivdale, you are up. Or no, it'd be Santhiel, but he just walked away. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Rivdale.
If he comes back, I will leave my turn to him.
No worries.
I'm going to continue being stealthily.
Yep.
And move up to this rock outcropping that I can see. Right. Oh, I'm panning. Hold on.
Oh, no worries.
There we go. Move up to here. And see what I can see.
We're back.
All right. As before you even get up to that rock outcrop, you're stealthing. You get to about right here before you are immediately aware of there being a fire. Well, actually, right about there.
Oh, yeah.
Right about there before you are immediately aware that there is a fire on the hillside, and you are definitely now officially aware of that there is. Hey, thank you, Surikerd. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that properly, but thanks for the follow, bud. Yeah, you get to about right there, and you're immediately aware of the fire up on the hillside, and you can actually see the fire pit now, can't you?
Yes.
Okay, you're aware of it. As you do, you're also immediately assaulted with more voices and talking. You can actually hear it.
Any particular language that I can recognize?
No, it's just a jumble of like noises.
Okay.
This is what you hear. You can probably hear it in the background of Roll20 right now.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Did my roar do any intimidation?
But you still have some movement left, obviously, because I moved you back a little bit. But you get the feeling if you were to move up any farther, you would be there. You would be seen. Right now, you're sitting behind a tree, and you feel like you're hidden. But if any more encroaching upon the voices or the fire, you might be seen. And you see some movement coming from up on top of the hill up there. In fact, to the point where.
What a terrible place to camp.
Give me a second here, guys. Sorry about that. To the point where you actually immediately you can see what looks to be two figures up there. You can probably see them now.
Yeah. Okay. Then what I'd like to do is, how much movement do I have remaining? I've moved 15 feet,
Yes.
so I have 20 feet remaining. Still stealth. I am just going to move to here.
Okay.
Still in view. Okay, making sure to keep the other two in view, and I'm just going to wait and watch.
Okay. As you come around that side a little bit, go ahead and roll a perception check.
All right.
With advantage, in fact, because of how stealthy you are and how close.
Okay. And how does that work? Do I just roll it twice? Or...
It should roll it for you.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, go ahead and roll it again.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Oh wow, awesome.
So that being said, as you come up to that other side of the tree, you move over a little bit, and you're watching the guys up on the hillside, or the figures up on the hillside up here. You can't really make out who they are. And right as you do come up to that, you are immediately aware of more figures that become present just in front of you again. And you will see them in a second. Bam.
Oh, okay, right there.
Yep. Just on the other side of the tree, literally right beside you. But like you get the feeling if you move up any farther or move any other direction than where you are now, you will be seen. Santhiel, are you there? Josh?
He said he'd be right back in chat.
Oh, no worries.
So I'm gonna guess not.
All right.
All right.
Do I still have movement?
You should still have about 10 feet, I think.
Okay. Then I think I'm just gonna move back.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna move to how far? Out there?
If you're moving 10 feet, diagonally 1 square. But if you're moving straight line, 2 squares.
Okay. Then I'll just do this.
Perfect. All right, Santhiel, you are up next.
Okay. I can move up to 6 squares, correct?
Yes.
All right. I want to go.
The creek is a little bit tricky though. Like crossing the creek.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. I want to go 5 squares to the east, where
Yep.
the break in the water is, to investigate it to see if it's crossable.
It is more crossable there. Yeah, absolutely. There's some rocks there, so you're gonna have to probably roll a dexterity to get across it there, and it's gonna take you. You can only move one more turn. You can move to right out there, and you'll end up right in the middle of the stream at the end of your turn.
Yeah, I'll hold here. I just
Okay.
wanted to investigate to see if it was crossable.
It definitely is. You don't even have to investigate.
I feel I'd have a better chance of getting across there with my chainmail than I would the rickety bridge.
Fair enough. Absolutely. There's definitely some rocks there. You can definitely see what looks to be like small juts of like stone sticking out, like right there. I'm gonna mark them for you guys. Kind of like that kind of thing going on.
Gotcha.
That being said, if you would like to do anything else, you have your free action. You can roll for a perception.
I can see Rivdale. She's sticking out slightly by the tree, so I know she's there.
You don't actually. Rivdale is completely stealth right now. You are not aware of Rivdale.
Okay.
But you do, just based upon your passive perception, I would say you are aware of the fire camp now, more so than you were before. And let me just check really your passive. No, you just see the glow of the light coming from the hillside.
Okay,
You don't actually see anything. You might see movement, like shadows possibly up on the hillside, but those characters that you can see now, you don't actually see them. You just see movement up here on the hillside where the light's coming from.
Okay. Well, I'll just hold steadfast here
right.
until something happens, or next turn I have a chance to try and cross the creek.
Sounds good. All right, Tack. You did run up. You did see Tack behind you though, as you ran past him.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah. Tack, your turn, bud.
All right, so can I understand what they're saying, or is it just muffled so I can't tell, or is it like is it a different language, or is it just distant?
Go ahead and roll for a I'm gonna
Would
make.
you want me to tell you the languages I know?
I can just check real quick. Well, yeah. Go ahead and tell me your languages you know, for sure.
Common, Orc, and Thieves' Cant.
Common, Orc, and Thieves' Cant. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a. I'm gonna do an insight check on this one.
Insight?
Yeah.
19.
All right. Yeah, you can make it out. A lot of it's common. Most of it's common. I don't think you don't even make out any other language. It's just so jumbled together that it kind of initially sounded like another language. You guys can hear it in the background. It doesn't really, but you make out a few words. You hear, "Give me that," or "Don't take my drink, don't take my ale from me," and you just hear a bunch of like loud, boisterous voices. What it sounds like men camping around a campfire, but you don't really make out too much.
Camping and not like someone's being robbed or mugged.
No. It sounds like they're actually camping out. It sounds like there might be a camp or something up ahead, and
Okay.
you are perceptively aware of what looks to be a fire light coming from atop the hill now as well.
All right, so
But not. You can just make out the light coming from that direction. You can't really make out anything else.
yeah, so I'm gonna move up.
Go for it.
5. Can I jump across these?
Yeah, so you can
Rocks,
move.
will
You can
they-
move through Santhiel. You don't take any penalty moving through your
Alright, so
allies'
5,
squares.
10, 15, 20.
Actually, moving across the water is going to be 20, and then from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20,
Yep.
25. So
Just
I basically go
20.
on the other side.
You can get on the other side and move one more square, pretty much.
So they're there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Let me check that real quick to make sure. Yeah, as you do, you didn't really try to stealth at all.
No, I'm just kind of moving up there.
Yeah, and you kind of made quite a bit of a ruckus as you were trying to cross the rocks.
I was gonna I was gonna yell to him and start talking to him.
I mean, you can if you want. Are you actually going to, or?
Yeah, if I can.
Okay, go. Yeah, go. Actually, go ahead. Like you made quite a bit of noise. Like you passed through Santhio. You're like, and you kind of brush by him. You're like, I
Yeah.
got this. As you step across the
I'm a
rocks,
dexterous
you
guy.
have the dexterity to get across the rocks pretty easily.
I've got the dex of a shitty cat.
But they are definitely alerted to something crossing the stream or making a noise down by the stream. And then obviously go ahead and say what you're going to say to them.
Hey, fellow ruffians. Just another ruffian here.
Hi.
It's like that scene
Everything's
from
cool. What are we doing tonight?
It's like Steve
fellas?
Buscemi.
As you
Hey,
get up
what's
there,
fellas?
if you look down the road, you can immediately see two figures up by the campfire.
Hey,
And
guys.
as well, to the north of you, you do see what looks to be
We're all ruffians here, joshing each other, fiddling with ale. Each other's ale.
Each other's dicks, more like it.
Yeah, they could.
Hello.
you see
They're
you
progressive
see a bigger
ruffians.
group sitting up next to a fire to the north of you. You see two figures sitting to the fire, the ones you're talking to directly to the east, a little bit more on top that hillside, a little bit, that little elevation. But you now are immediately aware that you stepped into a bigger crowd of individuals than you originally thought there was. As you say that out to them, you hear back, you just hear instant silence. The noise that you heard coming from before, the people talking, like that, all that socializing immediately just goes quiet.
Can I roll a deception so that they can think that I might be, like, I know them somehow? Or
With
they-
disadvantage. I'll allow it with disadvantage because you don't know
Yeah.
who they are. You really didn't know walking up.
Deception.
Have I heard any of this?
Who asked that?
8.
Ripped out.
Oh, absolutely. You're seeing this happen firsthand right now.
Okay.
It's 10 altogether.
It's
Because
10,
it's
10 altogether.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hey, fellas.
take out my bow and just ready it.
Absolutely.
I accidentally said I'm totes not a tabaxi who's maybe gonna try and fight you.
You
That
try.
eight's with your modifier already, by the way.
He's actually
What's that?
The 8's with your modifier, so
I know it's
Okay.
it will be 10 altogether because it doesn't put the extra 2 because I'm super proficient with deception.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, you are. Obviously, that worked well, right?
Yeah, I'm super good at lying.
As you hear that, you hear the voices just immediately stop and everything gets quiet and be like, "Oi! What are you doing
What?
down there by the water?"
Drinking?
No.
Drinking.
Well, why don't you come up here, you little furry friend? They can see you pretty well, but at this point, you're pretty well blatantly obvious to these guys that are up on the hillside from you. We're like, "Hey, did you hear us?"
Yeah, come on. I can only move this far on my turn. You have to wait for a little bit.
All right, that's no, you can move up. They asked you if you want to move up. You can walk down the road towards their camp. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just a rough and tough dude like you dudes. I'll move up with them.
Yeah, you can move up to right around here on the road somewhere if you want.
Hey guys,
As you move
I'm
up,
I'm cool like you. I'm hip.
they immediately are alerted to your presence, and
I thought they already were alerted. to
they
my
were,
presence.
but now they can see you firsthand, and they
I
turn
brought
toward
presents.
they turn towards you, and they say the one behind him is doing the talking. The one behind the guy in front of you, he has his hand crossbow pointed directly at you. He's like, "Oh, strange looking fella, aren't you? Oh, furry and stuff."
Yeah,
And then the one
kinda.
behind him chimes in and says, "James, shut up. I'll do the talking." So
Yeah,
what
James, be cool,
what is
James.
you what is you doing out here wandering around by yourself, cat
You know,
man?
being a pretty bomb person, going around looking to help other people like myself. You know,
What
I've
describe
walking the
your
game by myself.
describe what you look like to them, if you would, Tack.
Me,
Yeah, your personal what you look like personally.
I
I know you're a cat person, but describe your clothes and your weapons and stuff.
my clothes and stuff. Just
Mhm.
pretty normal leather armor type stuff. It's
Okay.
nothing fancy or anything.
You say fancy.
Nothing fancy. Well, am I describing it to chat or to these two? guys?
Describe it to me and to chat and
Oh.
everyone out there, so we know a little bit better. And I wanted to know what
Hey,
these
everybody.
guys want to know what they're seeing.
Everyone wants to know what I'm wearing.
Just basic leather armor. What about your weapons?
Yeah, basic leather. I've got 2 daggers, a rapier, I believe. Yeah, rapier and a short bow.
All right.
And-
Do you have any of them out right now?
No, I've got it all kind of put away.
Okay.
I was just kind of hanging out over here. Gave, hey fellas.
The one behind the guy with the crossbow says, James, put the crossbow down. Calm down.
Yeah, come on, James.
Let's have a conversation with our new friend. And you hear him go, Oi, boys, come check out our new friend. And
Yeah, we're
and
all
you he-
friends here.
and you hear this weird growl sound, almost like a little bit, that I don't really have right now. But you just hear like this, and then slowly approaches. A dog walks up around the fire where the two are with you, and he sits right on the edge of the hillside, kind of like that. And you hear some footsteps as some other ones. Rivdale, you are aware of this. You see the larger group from below starting to walk up the hillside.
Okay.
This one's falling back a little bit. He's not as far ahead. And they start moving towards you. And then the one behind him says, so what are you doing with all those weapons and stuff? You some kind of mercenary or something?
I'm just a, rough and tumble ruffian.
Well, we've heard that.
So,
You
yeah,
told
yeah.
us that. Well, what you doing
Yeah.
out here? Coming up to our camp like this? Confronting
Well,
us?
looking, maybe looking for work or, I've got skills. I'm a cat person. Cats are quiet,
We're saying you're looking for a job?
maybe.
With us?
Maybe.
Well, I don't want to be
No,
rude. I mean, we could always use a helping hand, but I don't know if we're looking for,
Yeah.
like, some type of cat person or something.
Look, everyone needs a weirdo cat person.
What's your name? What do you go by, Catman? And they all kind of laugh. You see the rest of the group behind him kind of chuckle as they come up around, and they're kind of like starting to razz you a little bit. You hear some derogatory terms like, "Oi, I'd like to get me a piece of that pussy."
Not heard that one before. My name's Tack.
Tack.
Yeah.
Oh, well, name's Hal. I'm the leader of this here group. We're the
Hi, Hal.
Lancers.
Hello.
Hi. So you all alone? You said, right? Or you got friends?
Well, no, that's why I wanted to join you guys.
Oh,
Was because I was all alone out here.
so you're all alone, and you
Yeah,
hear
come
and you
on.
hear Hal kind of like do this weird little like whistle from the side of his mouth. He like whistles. He's like, "Hey boys." He doesn't, and they just kind of start moving up a little slower. And at this point, it is going to be Bardag's turn, who is currently asleep and has no reason to wake up. Sorry, Bardag.
I like your puppy, but I don't like it being so close.
And now Duncan, Idaho, it is your turn. We'll get back to you, Tack.
Do I hear anything new or nothing?
Nothing really.
They're
Not.
dog people, the natural enemy of cats.
You thought maybe
It's very
possibly you
true.
heard some splashing, some louder splashing coming from the river, but you know some of your friends are over that direction, so maybe you thought they were just getting some water.
I was probably skinny dipping or something. I mean, my guy wouldn't do anything because he has no reason to yet.
But you are aware of the
The
growl
most
from
useful
Draenor.
person, Duncan.
You
I
did
know.
hear the
Yeah.
shout from or the growl from Draenor.
Yeah, I talked to him as well. I told him that he should stay up while I go to sleep.
Hold on. Can I send you something that would be a nice growl?
Absolutely.
I did it.
In Discord?
Yep, it's in Discord.
Did you all get a little piece of that? Maybe, maybe not.
I didn't hear nothing.
Ah.
Does
I never hear anything.
Does it not work?
It did. It worked. I might have only been able to hear. I thought maybe everybody else would be able to hear it, but I'll implement it here later for Draenor's growl. Do you want to do anything, Duncan, or you just want to kind of still there and chill still?
I guess I'm just gonna go see what they're doing with the river. I'm not gonna go all the way over there.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go
Go ahead and
within-
move them however
maybe-
you want.
Maybe about right here.
All right. As you
That's
do,
about-
if you're looking, yeah,
That's 25 feet. I can see there.
you can see Santhiel standing at the river, just kind of like hunched down, kind of looking in like the alert posture at the river. But that's all you really notice. You don't really notice anything else. If you want to roll perception, you can to see if you notice anything more.
Yeah, I'll roll perception.
All right, go for it.
Oh, I don't see anything.
No, you see Santhiel. You don't
Everyone's
even
probably fine.
you don't even
I
see.
don't see him.
Well, I mean, you
I
see
rolled-
him
I don't-
Rolled in that one.
based off of your
Rolled in that
perception.
one.
You already saw Santhiel, but as far as seeing anything else off in the distance, you actually like. You think you might have got some of that sandstone in your eye or whatever while you were sharpening your blade, and like you kind of rub your eyes a little bit, and you're like, oh man,
quit shopping and get so close to
It's
your
been a
eye.
long it's been a long 2 days. I'm gonna have to get some sleep.
I'm gonna
And-
rinse it off in the river because I want sand in my eye while I sleep.
You're not gonna be able to get the river this turn. You can probably move it 2
Yeah.
more
He
squares.
zooms over there.
Yeah, he's like, boom, I'm in the river.
I can move about right
Yeah,
there.
absolutely, for sure. Yeah, but you're completely oblivious to everything else with like, you really got into sharpening there for a little bit.
What's
Yeah.
wrong, Joey?
He got in the zone.
Draenor,
fuck's Joey?
you're up next. Draenor, if you want to go
Alright.
ahead and do your thing.
There's no Joey.
I don't. What's up, Duncan? I don't really have anything to do. I've already warned people. Can I ask a question though?
Yeah,
what's
absolutely.
with the 5 NPCs down at the bottom.
Those are your fellow compatriots that haven't joined us yet, and they're just kind of chilling out.
All right.
They're
Yeah,
for,
they're-
I just didn't
they're
know
just for
where-
me to bring in.
So, okay, I guess I'm just gonna walk in this direction. Walk this way.
Is it Draenor going right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Draenor.
Hey, Draenor.
All right, as you haven't seen you move, Draenor.
Yeah, I was
Oh, yeah.
just telling you.
He's
Oh,
measuring things, I think.
How
that's fine.
far?
30
How
feet.
far?
How far can I go? 30 feet.
So you can go.
Yeah, so
That will put you in the
go
water,
right
though.
To the river.
You can go up one if you want to stand right on the edge.
Yeah, I want to stand right on the edge.
Okay. As you get up there, you immediately notice Santhiel to your left, just kind of hunched down. You can talk to him if you want. You're close enough to speak to Santhiel, or Santhiel, you can speak back to him if you like.
Yeah, I
check
just tell him that I think I found a crossing here that would expedite us getting across the river.
And if you guys want to jump in a little bit more, feel free to jump in. You guys don't have to stay within the turn order. I just don't want it to get too convoluted. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to sit there and be quiet until your turn. Okay.
I
Alright.
think I'm going to drink, fill my canteen, and fill my canteen and drink again.
Okay. Absolutely.
And then just listen to what's going on across the river.
I need you to make a Constitution check.
All right.
I like how nonchalant everyone at the camp is. Meanwhile, two
Is that a 20?
Let me check. I don't see a roll for you yet. No. Just go to your Constitution. Go to your journal and go to your character sheet and just click on
yep.
Constitution. Roll it for you.
Mike. Oh, hold on.
No worries.
I don't know how to do that.
Go into your character sheet.
Okay.
I'll roll it for you right now. You go into your character sheet, and then where it says Constitution, like literally on the word Constitution on your character sheet,
Like
you
that?
just click it. I clicked it for you, but I'll check. Yes, you rolled it. You did good. Well, I mean, you didn't do good, but I mean, you found it for sure. As you roll
That's a
that,
shit roll.
You should have just let Brock roll it for you.
right?
Hold on. I don't know where it is. Thank you for rolling that for me.
No, I got you already. Sorry, bud.
that take
As you lean down,
nice roll.
as you lean down to fill up your canteen immediately. The water is quite chilly actually, which doesn't bother you at all. I mean, you don't even practically notice it. So technically, saying it's chilly doesn't factor in for you. You don't even know what chilly means, being a frost dragonborn. But as soon as you take a drink, you get a big gulp and swallow the first gulp, and then you immediately feel this sizzle on your lips, and you take a. Let me go ahead and roll for damage.
Damn it.
You're gonna get dysentery and shit yourself now.
Probably. I'm gonna lose all of my Smitty's pizza.
You take 2, what I guess would be considered like toxic or acidic damage.
Yay, the fucking water's poisoned. I love this
I'll
place.
implement that on your sheet for you if you like.
Oh, okay.
You can do it yourself too, but however, I'll just
do I just put it in temp?
yeah, temporary hit points is perfect. Yeah, that'd be great.
Santhio turns to Draenor and says, "I'm glad it was you and not
He
me."
spits out the second gulp. As he does, it kind of freezes and like lands in a big ice cube in the water. But it's like you can hear it sizzling as it hits the water, and your lips kind of like sizzle and pop like you just put the worst pack of Pop Rocks in your mouth ever.
Can I roll to vomit to get the first?
Not yet. You can't. You're gonna have to sit with that water in your
Try-
stomach for a little bit. You
try
feel
not
it. You
to
feel the
again.
first big gulp slide all the way down to your gut, and you can tell you're definitely dysentery is one of the things that come to your
Start
mind.
tickling your uvula with your fingers.
Yeah.
Grab it and squeeze.
As a free
You throw up
action.
in seconds.
Give it a cheeky little tug.
From experience, do not shove a dagger down your throat.
It doesn't seem to bother you, like putting your hands into the water or putting your feet, like your skin doesn't seem to bother your skin so much
Yeah, that's
as
what
it
Cynthia was worried about.
as it does your actual like internal mouth and internal like organs. That's where you kind of got the burn from, if that makes sense. All right, now it'll be Santhiel's turn.
All right. So, do I need to roll to across the water, or is it?
You will have to roll a dex check to
crossing
get across the water, being as you have armor on and stuff. You're not as dexterity. I can't say it. Dexterous. Thank you. Dexterous as Tack was, or as boisterous and friendly.
How do you draw the line to see which way? You...
The little looks like a comb on the left. You see, it looks like a comb, but it's actually a ruler.
I gotcha. So I want to go this way.
Yep.
10 feet, and then I want to go this way, the 20 feet to be
Okay.
close to Tack.
This is the thing, though. If you cross the river, it's going to double your. So that's 10 feet right there. So your first 5 feet is 10 feet because you have to cross it.
10. So
Yep.
10, and then I'll do 5.
Yep.
So 15, 20, 25, and then stop here at 30.
Yes, that'll be your limit, and you have to roll that. You have to roll that dex check to get across the river too. As
All right,
well.
I'll go ahead and roll the dex. You good with me rolling dex now then?
Yep, absolutely. I'm ready for it. All right. As you go to step on the first rock, your chainmail and just the armor that you're wearing it's super slick, and you immediately slip and just kind of you don't fall like you just fall right on your butt with your legs in the stream, your ankles or whatever in the stream. And you just fall on your butt and kind of just sit down right on the edge right here, on the same edge you were already on. You're pretty much on the same square that you're already on. So you're gonna actually. You're not hurt. You didn't hurt. You can try again if you want immediately after, but you've lost about 5 feet of your distance already.
That's fine. I'll try again.
Yeah.
Constitution is my. There we go. Ready?
Yeah. And the second
Gosh,
time,
damn it!
this time you stand up in the stream and you think, oh well, the stream's shallow enough, I might be able to walk across it. But instead, you step up on the center rock, and as you do, you slip off of again. Your boots just are not making purchase on these rocks, and you fall on your stomach, and you are laying in the stream a little bit on your belly. You haven't taken any damage.
Gets knocked out, lays face down.
You can actually, but
I'm gonna go ahead and roll again to see if I can get up to get across.
yes, to get up, it's gonna take half your movement that you have left. So you can get to the edge of the other side of the stream now at this point.
I've got 15 movement left.
No, you can get to about right here.
Okay, so if I roll high enough, all right, here I'm gonna go ahead and roll in. Fuck this game.
Just go ahead and. Oh, you actually, Jesus Christ! You actually slide. That's exactly correct. You actually slide down the little embankment that was to your left, and you fall down over here, and you actually do take some damage. You get some of the water in your mouth. Taking, let me go ahead and make the roll. Taking 4. You get a lot of big gulp of the water as you go down the little 3-foot waterfall, and you land on your butt with the waterfall just kind of pouring over your head, and you spit out what was left in your mouth. And you're just laying there in the water. Well, sitting there in the water. So you are currently prone in the water.
So he just kind of flailed trying to get across and fell down 3 different times.
Yes. It was a fucking... Yeah, it was not pretty.
Is Rhaenyra's steel plate just like face bombing like crazy?
I put that little marker on you. Guys, I don't have a prone marker as of yet. That looks weird. It looks like a guy's exploding from his back. That little black and white marker I put on your thing. But that just means you're prone for right now until I figure something else.
Just so you guys know, by the time I get out of this water, as corrosive as it is, I'll probably have my chainmail rusting to where I can't move properly.
It doesn't seem to affect your chainmail, to be honest. Honestly, it just seems to affect the mucous membrane inside your mouth and your internal organs.
That's cool.
No, it's anti-mucus water.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not gonna be able to see or anything.
Rivdale, it is now your turn, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna take an extra shower. Be back.
So after laughing in her mind, watching Santiago try to cross this river.
Yeah. Let me check to see if you can see it. Oh yeah, you definitely got to see that shit. You definitely saw that.
I watched it happen on my screen. So I'm going just to move back this way so that I'm still in view of everybody, and I'm gonna hold my action and prepare to attack if anything goes wrong.
Hold on, I'm talking to little Dino. Her campaign ended earlier, so I'm gonna try to get her in here.
Oh shit, she's coming in.
Yep. I'll have her come in here directly. I'll throw her into the mix.
Fuck, dude.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead again. Rivdale, you're gonna. Oh, you moved to the bridge.
Yeah, I moved back, and if there's any space that I can kind of find a little bit of cover.
You can actually go underneath the bridge. The bridge is probably about 5 to 6 feet high from the stream, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
So
Perfect.
you've already went under the bridge once, and you don't seem to have a
Yeah.
problem walking through the water. It's pretty shallow.
I just want to keep an eye on everybody that's in
Absolutely.
range of my
If
bow. which
if you
is
want to keep
just
an eye on
about-
everybody, I would say you probably should be standing right around here somewhere, if that's okay with you,
That's fine by me.
or maybe even right here, and we'll say you're in the stream.
Okay, sure.
All right, cool. Do you want to do anything else from there?
I've already readied my bow, so I'm just gonna wait.
Oh, you want to hold? That's fine. We're not in combat right now, so just so everybody knows, just in case anybody's wondering. Rivdale, it's turn. I'll let you hold your action. If you want to jump in before the end of someone else's turn real quick, you're more than welcome, Rivdale, since your action, you're holding your bow. If something
Okay.
goes wrong with tack, for instance, which it probably will right now.
Would that be like
Nothing will ever go wrong
like
with
an ambush?
Text
You could
does.
say.
Absolutely, it would definitely be a stealth attack because they don't know you're aware. They think Tack is all by himself.
All right. Perfect, thank you.
Tack, it is now your turn. But
Yeah.
Little Dino, I'm just gonna throw you into the mix right at where you're at right now.
I
Let
think
me
she
go ahead.
said she's not able to get into
Yeah,
the chat.
I'm gonna fix that real quick, Dino. I got you.
Hey,
Jump in the general Discord, Dino, and I will put you in the game. Or actually, I don't even need you to do that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way. If you're taking those a little, I know I've been ignoring you guys a little bit, but probably it just happens with DMing. But for the most part, I hope you guys are enjoying it, and let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens with our crew. Man, I gotta find Little Dino. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm terrible. Members.
What's up, Jericho?
I have finally finished my.
Perfect.
I
You
am
can
a
you can
slut
come in as
no
well.
man.
Sorry if anyone's just watching. We're just adding a couple more players they had to finish some stuff up before they get in. All right, Dino, you should be good now to jump into our end game. There you go.
Hola.
Hola.
Como
What's up,
estás?
Uh,
Stream, welcome Little Dino. She was currently in another campaign, but she is now gracing us with her presence in this one. I will add your characters to the board. You guys will be coming in from this direction, from the road. You guys fell back a little bit to investigate something, or you were helping. Or you guys can figure out what you were doing, but you stayed back. You got about like a couple hours behind the group, but you're catching up now that they made camp.
You idiot! You lost that rabbit.
Exactly. That's perfect, actually. I love that. So,
Can I
Dino-
let Dino explain our backstory a little bit better? Because I'm not that good.
that's fine. Absolutely. If you want to, Dino, you can explain your backstory. And in both you, Jericho and Nessus, can give a little breakdown of your characters if you want. They just entered from the road, the west road.
All right.
I'll let you-
So Nessus and Jericho, they were dragon-born eggs. A thief.
Or not Jericho.
mistaking their eggs
Yeah.
for-
Draenor.
Draenor.
You're good. You're good.
Wait, what?
Jericho is who was with you. He was the ranger, but he is not the dragonborn. He was just who was with you and just came in just now as well.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's fine. Okay, Drenord, yeah. Drenord and Nessus were small eggs that were collected and mistaken for actual dragon eggs, and as they were being sold to the black market through wagon, their eggs slipped out and fell in front of a church. That's why we're paladins.
Nice. And did you pick a deity by any chance, or did you have a chance to look at those?
Oh, I wasn't able to hear the list of deities.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll bring them up real quick. Or they're actually, you can go to find them yourself in journal down at the bottom. There's a handout.
Yeah, I saw.
Cool. Most everybody. We have two paladins already. We have Santhiel, which is he worships the god of light, Azuriel, and then we also have Draenor, your basically brother from a different mother.
I'm gonna go with Zila.
Zila, perfect. Absolutely.
when you get a chance,
You can make your own symbol for that too.
Your portrait.
Wait.
Since you're the first one to worship to Zila, you are more than welcome to make the symbol yourself, Dino, for Zila at any point
Sweet.
as your holy symbol for Zila.
So yeah, we were enslaved by church.
Yeah.
While brother here thought it was a good thing, and you know,
You disagreed.
I disagree and thought we were enslaved, and I don't believe in that logic. So, but somehow I respect him as my
Indeed.
brother.
Your companion. They're all your brothers in the Dawn Claws.
No, he's my closest brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Jericho, do you want to break down a little bit about yourself?
I was in a village, and I haven't decided where it was yet, but I was in a village, and the neighboring tribe raided the village and killed everybody. And I spent the majority of my life tracking down the person who killed my family and exacted my vengeance. And after I did that, I ran into these guys out in the woods.
Fantastic. And you've been with them ever since for about the past 10 years.
Yep.
Just helping them out. And you are your race and class?
Yes. Elven Ranger.
Elven Ranger. All right.
What do you know?
And you call yourself a ranger? You lost that fucking rabbit twice.
God damn it, that rabbit tricked me.
All right, like last time when you said the invisible mole got me. I swear.
You guys are immediately aware of the fire. Jericho, specifically to your right, as you come in, you can see this fire right here. As far as Nessus go, you can see the fire as well. You are aware of it as well. You both see it. It is off to your right. You see the sleeping bags. You immediately recognize the sleeping bags as your party sleeping bags, but a lot of them appear to be empty. That being
Now I have
said,
to go back empty-handed again.
Tack, it is
Hey,
now
mine
your turn.
seems full.
Oh yeah, Tack did stuff this one. The one in the middle does seem like it's stuff,
Yeah.
but you've seen Tack do that before.
Yeah.
He likes to stuff. He's a cat. It's a cat thing. All right, Tack, it is your turn, bud.
My turn?
Yep, we're back to you.
Alright, so what's it look like these guys are doing? Does it can I do like some sort of check to see if does it seem like they're buying this whole thing, or does it seem like they're trying to get around me and then try and mug me or kill me or something?
Make a insight check on. You get the feeling just from you what you can see right now is that the guy standing with his hand like kind of out and is rubbing his chin in the green, right behind the guy with the crossbow by the fire. He seems to be he's Hal. He's introduced himself as Hal, and he definitely seems to be the ringleader of these vectors, as they've referred to themselves. But go ahead and roll an insight into their motives.
17.
Yeah, it wasn't a very hard check. You can definitely tell that they're going to probably mug, rape, and do some terrible things to you.
Eat delicious cat meat.
You're like, oh man, look at that cat. Oh.
You right now are flanked by the what looks to be like some kind of like terrible looking dog, which is very interested in you, which you can imagine a dog would be.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty big. It's a bigger dog than you're normally used to seeing. And then obviously the guy directly in front of the leader with his crossbow.
Alright, so to the guy with the crossbow, I'm gonna point behind him and say, "Oh shit, look!" Does he look?
You can roll a deception.
Yeah, I'll roll deception.
Uh,
24.
he does. James is like, whoa, what? And he like turns around.
Alright, I stab him twice in the back as soon as he turns around.
Fantastic. All right, roll for your attacks.
Alright. So
At
First
this
one.
moment, as I see attacking,
Indeed.
I'd like to take my action and attack as well.
I will let you do that right after he does his.
Awesome.
I'll
4
let you
plus
roll.
7.
You just rolled a d4, or you rolled and you got a 4 to hit. I see what
Yeah,
you
so
did.
11 altogether.
Do you have your weapons implemented on your sheet?
No, I don't. Not
Oh, that's
yet.
fine. No worries. Then. That's fine. Okay.
Be right
The
back,
first
bye.
hit. Oh yeah, no problem. The first hit immediately just kind of misses. You hear the dog growl to your left.
And I'm gonna try and stab him with my other knife.
Absolutely.
Not one.
The dog latches onto your arm and pulls a. He takes one of your pinky fingers off your left hand and knocks the dagger out of your hand. You lose a pinky from the dog, and you take.
I've got 9 more.
Indeed.
I only have pinkies.
You take 5. I guess what.
Would you want him
missing.
to make a? Do you want him to make an opportunity attack for me?
No,
He's
Rivdale.
auto hitting right now.
Rivdale. Oh, yeah, actually, he is. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, you rolled a 1. He auto hitted you. Yeah, he actually did auto
Sorry
hit
about
you.
that.
Oh.
He reacted to the first one. He growled because he saw you try to stab and you missed. And then when you went to go for
Yeah,
the
I did.
second one, it was just such a terrible stab that like the dog just latched onto your hand and took the pinky. And as far as you can tell, he swallowed that thing.
I was using that.
You take 5 damage from the missing pinky and the missing hand, and your dagger is
Alright.
currently on the ground.
Santhiel's back for a minute.
No problem. Rivdale, go ahead and go. After Rivdale uses your
Well,
action.
I'm
Do
gonna
I
get
have
out
a-
of there now.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
basically try and
Go for it real quick.
scamper away. So, 1, 2.
The
3.
dog is not going to make an attack of opportunity, but actually, the crossbow guy didn't notice anything. He turns back around
I'd never even stabbed him, so he didn't even know I.
He turns back around as he hears the dog growl, and he's like, "What? He's running!"
It was nothing.
And then you hear Hal yell. Go ahead.
I yell, "Ignore me!" as I run away.
Is Santhiel able to communicate with Tack voices wise at this point since they're so
Yeah, if
close?
you want to yell something to him, I got to do Rivdale's thing. Rivdale had his bow ready to go, so I'm going to let Rivdale
Yeah,
shoot
that's
one.
fine. I'm just asking Tack if he's going to come back across the river, or if he wants for me to attempt to progress back across towards him.
Now, if I'm proficient with a longbow, do
Uh,
I get double my proficiency?
This would be a stealth attack, so you would get advantage, but you rolled an 11. Who were you shooting at, for one?
I'm aiming for the dog.
Okay. Let me check the dog real quick. Yeah, you do. You hit the dog.
Okay, cool.
Just barely. You release the arrow, and it goes grazing past the dog and kind of sticks in where its collar's at. You see it like actually stick maybe in the collar or in its neck, and you hear as it like hits. And I will go ahead and adjust for that.
He's
The
choking
dog
my
is
pinky.
Roll for damage. Actually, click on your longbow where you just rolled. It says longbow below that. Just click that again where it says longbow +7, and you got 13
There
on
we
the
go.
dot. Nice.
Perfect.
Nice. And it looks like after you hit the dog, it growls, and then you hear from the growl, it's like you hear some gurgling immediately. You think you hit
Choking on my pinky.
you think you hit the dog in a pretty damn good spot, from what you can tell.
Awesome. Perfect.
Right about that time, Tack, you're running back to the river,
Yeah.
and you see this paladin just sitting there talking to you as he's sitting in the water. Like looks like he's sitting
Hey,
under the
buddy.
waterfall taking a
He
shower.
looked like he fell down 3 different times.
What do you say to him again, Santiago? Go ahead.
I ask if he's going to come back across the river, or if he wants me to attempt to get to him.
You come over here to me.
All right,
Good boy.
sounds good. Is it also going to be my turn, or is Rivdale still going?
It is going to. No, Rivdale held his action, so it is now
Should
going
we
to
roll
be.
initiative now?
Yeah, actually, thank you. That was the next thing. So everyone needs to roll initiative. You can click it on your sheet if you want, or you can just roll. Just click it on your sheet. If you go to your journal.